The Yamaha R1 is one of my favorite motorcycles of all time. When it released back in 1998, it literally changed the game. But a lot has changed over the last 25 years. It's evolved into this, the R1M. It's got carbon fiber, adaptive suspension, 200 horsepower. It's even got aero. But here's the thing, as nice as this bike is, it costs close to $30,000. But the heart wants what the heart wants. So today I'm gonna get my very own R1M like this one, but I'm gonna do it on the cheap. I'm gonna buy one that doesn't run, that's been stolen and crashed, a potential diamond in the rough, a hidden gem. Welcome to Big Time. So in my journey to find my dream bike on the cheap, I started looking at places of where I could go and get an R1M for a little bit of a discount. I determined that still those prices of used bikes on there are in the $20,000+ range, and I didn't want to spend that. So naturally, I went to an auction, but not just any auction, I went specifically to a CoPart. Now CoPart is an auction that deals with primarily damaged vehicles through insurance carriers. So I started searching on CoPart, visited a few of their locations to do some recon, and after looking at hundreds of bikes, I found my dream bike. Now, I will have to say that this is a bit of a gamble, and I'm not much of a gambling man, so this is pretty stressful. It was a theft recovery, which means that someone had stolen it. It's got some probably wiring issues. I don't know the mileage. I don't know if it starts. I have really no idea if this thing is gonna be worth it. But going into this, I know that I have a limit. This is super important. Jeremiah, do not spend more money than you want to spend. And assuming, hey, this bike you could probably get without a salvage title is maybe in the 22 to 24-ish thousand bucks, I'd like to spend about a third of that. So that's around 8 grand. That's what I want to spend, 8 grand. Going into that, that's the limit. I am not going to bid above $8,000. I bid above 8,000. So in a perfect world, I would be locked in on a wired network on my computer just to make sure when I submit my bid that it actually goes through. But here's the thing, my sweet baby boy, Jimmy, was getting married that day, and Zach and myself were part of his wedding crew, and we just so happened to be at brunch with him on his big day. We couldn't leave him by himself. So we did a little bit of bidding on the phone at the breakfast table.
9 grand. Oh, God damn it. Not working out? I outbidded myself.
We won. So now it's time to go pick up my brand new to me Yamaha R1M. Oh, there it is right there. Look at that beauty. That's ours. This is a gamble. I don't know if this thing is gonna run, start. I don't know how many miles are in it. I have no information. They didn't have a key made. So this is a complete shot in the dark, but I have faith. I think that this is gonna turn out really well. We're gonna get one of the sickest motorcycles you can buy at a fraction of the price with just a little luck. Let's load it up. I'm gonna need your help. Yeah, probably push from the back. Oh. Okay, can you hold it? Okay, go. Okay, now time to get this back to the garage and see how much work we have on our hands.
Woo! As you guys can tell, I'm pretty excited about upgrading to a legit shop. But today's sponsor, Ridge Wallet, is also excited because they're upgrading to Ridge 2.0. The classic Ridge Wallet is now 10% lighter with more options for cash straps, money clips, and AirTag accessories. And I'm not kidding, me and all the guys here at Big Time have been using Ridge Wallets for years. It's small, it's lightweight, and it's basically indestructible. But if you do find a way to destruct it, well, Ridge has you covered with their Built for Life warranty. You need new parts to keep your gear functional? Well, that's free as always. You got your wallet stolen? Well, Ridge has you covered, and they'll get you back up and running for just a fraction of the cost. And with the holidays coming up, Ridge is making gift giving easy with up to 47% off at ridge.com/bigtime. That's ridge.com/bigtime for up to 47% off. And with Ridge, you don't have to worry about looking like everybody else. They've got tons of cool colorways and options, so you can find something that suits you. I like red.
So now that I have the bike, here's what we gotta do. I gotta clean this sucker. Then I gotta test to see if I can get it to power up. Then I gotta get it fired up, and then finally, I gotta go ride it. Okay, now first thing you wanna do is take the seat off, just in case there's any drugs in there. Just gotta plug up the exhaust a little bit so I don't get water in there. Whenever you buy a wrecked bike, one of the things you can always count on potentially cracking is one of the wheels. Also, one thing to remember is that I have no idea if this bike runs. I have no idea if it starts. We're taking a huge risk here, so I'm gonna take my time and make sure at least I have some parts I can scrap in case this whole thing blows up in my face. Guy plugged the tire. These are expensive tires. That's why you gotta clean it. Ready to do a further dive on what might be wrong with this bike. We have a lot of aftermarket, cheap eBay components, which we're gonna have to swap out. And we got some, you know, fairing damage on the front, here on the tail section. Overall, pretty good. First things first, let's see if we can get this thing to power up and see how many miles are on it. Oh, look at this. This is how he put gas in it. Let me see if I can open it. So he broke this open, so we're gonna have to replace that. The fuel doesn't smell great. First, I'm gonna see if I can connect it to a battery that I know is good, and then see how many miles are on this thing. See if I can jimmy that. Yeah, see, look at this. Whoa! Let's go! Fire it up. All right, let's see how many miles are on it. Dude! 8,100 miles. Bro, let's go. Okay, low mileage. That is awesome, but low mileage on a bike that doesn't run means pretty much nothing. So we're gonna see if it fires up. Let's see. Heck yeah, baby, let's go. It's not showing the correct gear position sensor, so I'll have to figure out what that is. But, dude, engine turned over. That's sick. Now I'm gonna take this tank off, I'm gonna drain the fuel, I'm gonna put some fresh fuel in it, I'm gonna put this battery on a charger, and then see if this thing will crank over. Okay, so I'm gonna dump the fuel out of this, put some fresh fuel in. I'm also, while I'm here, I'm gonna take the airbox cover off, change the air filter. I might even pull this whole thing off and change the spark plugs as well. I mean, the fuel should be clear, and this is pretty nasty. Dude, oh, it fits so good. Oh, I love a good fitting screwdriver. Oh, every crack just feels incredible. Oh, nice. Look at that. Looks brand new. Okay, I would. It doesn't look brand new. Okay, I'm gonna clean out that little intake runner with a towel, put a new filter in, spray a little schmutz there real quick, and just carb cleaner just to make sure that that little port is not blocked. I'm gonna pull off all the fairings to see if I have any oil leaks, any fluid leaks, any damage that I might have missed after I washed the bike. Break this. And I feel like I'm close to breaking it. Sorry. sorry. Yeah, I didn't do that. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah, so these things are like, this is real carbon fiber. I'm glad I'm taking them off because I'll clean the insides of them. How do I take this fucking thing off? Come the fuck on. Jesus fuck. Jesus, that's the stupidest fucking system. Whoa, look at that. Like no brake fluid. That's not good. To be honest, I think this guy did some maintenance right before it got impounded. That's kind of cool. Okay, so I don't know if this bike is gonna fire up even when I do connect the battery because it was stolen. So they jumpered a lot of these parts, but let's just say we have some tomfoolery among us. Yeah, I don't know where these wires go. Interesting. Chew, are you serious? Okay, I see what he did here. Clever little mother. What they did is basically cut this factory harness and just bypassed it. So I'm not gonna show you what that looks like because then that'll tell you how to hot wire one of these. We'll get a new one in there and get that sorted. No problem. I think we're in good shape. Let's get some fresh fuel in, see if this thing will fire up. Fire up, daddy. Okay. Boom, boom. I got that one. Okay, battery hooked up, fresh fuel in here. This is it, moment of truth. Let's see if this thing will turn over. First fire up, let's go. Okay. So far, so good. I'm gonna shut it off real quick. Let's go. So far, so good. I just wanna check the oil just to make sure. Great, it's a little high, if anything. Looks like it's got fresh engine oil in there. Okay, so we're good on oil. That's great. I'm gonna fire this thing back up and just let it run for a bit and see if I can, you know. Thank you, Chewy. Can you tell me if the brake light works? Yeah. Never give up on your dreams because they can sound like this. I see some smoke. That's not good. Huge news, we have restocked V1 of our anime, V2 of our anime, and V3 of our anime shirts right now on BigTimeBigTime.com.
That's right, and this weekend only you can get all 3 of them in a 3-pack for 15 bucks off.
You also get this, and this, and this, and this. And remember, all of our shirts are made here in the US of A. Get yours right now, BigTimeBigTime.com. Thank you. I think I got a leak in the radiator. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's coming out of that fitting. Looks like it's coming from right behind this module right here where it has all my brake lines and brake fittings. This is your wheel speed sensor on this brake line, but right behind it is where I'm getting the steam coming from. So I think we just have a hole in our radiator. Now I gotta patch that up. I didn't order a radiator. Okay, so yesterday we ended it with a little bit of rain and some steam. Now these bikes are notorious for having some air bubbles trapped in the circulatory system of the coolant. And what happens is if you have an air pocket, fluid is not going to flow, and then any fluid that might be left in the core, this radiator will get hot super quick and it'll evaporate and it turn into steam. So that's essentially what we had. We had an air pocket in the coolant system, and luckily, they have a little bleeder right here. So this is our water pump, and right at top, you have a bleeder that allows that air to kind of come out once you crack it. All right, so that problem is fixed, but we still have a bunch of lights on the dash, so I need to figure that out. We still have a hole in our tires, so I gotta get new tires on this. But I don't think that's gonna stop me from riding this today. There's been a break in the storm, the sun is out. It's time to go see if there's any other issues with our budget R1M. Let's go. So this is it, my very own Yamaha R1M, and I didn't have to pay 30 grand to get one. It does seem to be running pretty good, and the rear tire is definitely leaking air though, so I'm gonna have to get that fixed. It sounds great, clutch needs some adjustment, quick shifter works, holy crap, this thing is sick, and I'm gonna run out of gas, so I gotta get back to Job's. A successful first ride, and I think a successful purchase. Now there's a bunch of stuff that we're gonna have to do to this bike to get it back to where no one can just take it and steal it. And we're gonna change out some of the crappy, cheap Alibaba eBay parts with some good stuff. Get this thing some performance upgrades. So if you guys wanna see that, and you like moto content, leave a like, comment down below, that helps us out. If you guys want some merch, go to BigTimeBigTime.com, get you some merch. The moto crew's back, baby. Love you guys, bye-bye.